Ho, 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 and welcome to a very special Christmas episode of Cursed Content Club. Not holiday episode, Christmas episode. With me, as always, are my co-hosts Dan and Bob Video Games of GigaBoots.com.
People are always saying happy holidays. I can't believe it.
I love Christmas with an X.
And Dr. Aggro from that guy your older brother knew who would just lie to you about things.
Merry Christmas. You have to say it back or you hate America.
And that's true, because we're watching Saving Christmas, the 2014 Kirk Cameron movie.
So I feel like there's a lot of our audience who doesn't even know who Kirk Cameron is, and that's great. Maybe we should build some context.
He played a teenager on a sitcom called Growing Pains, and then he got real big into God.
Yep.
And then he made this bad movie about how about the war on Christmas. And I think he was in one episode of Fuller House.
I think that's right, yeah.
Wow.
I think that's
One
right.
episode of
One
that.
episode, yeah. He just
And has basically done fucking nothing since then.
He was in the movie version of Left Behind.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my god.
Good thing that'll never be relevant to a show called Cursed Content Club.
So about him
There's apparently also Nicolas Cage did one. I really need to see that.
Yeah, there's at least like 4 of those Left Behind movies.
So something interesting about this film, it is filmed with a camera that needs to be color corrected.
And it's not.
Not
Of course
one
not.
shot I've seen is color corrected.
Oh, no.
Fucking course.
I'd like to thank you for warning us up front that was going to be an issue.
I feel like this is going to be very strange, especially if you, the viewer, are younger, like you're under 30, I think would be a pretty good
Cut off, yeah.
metric for cutoff. That's probably too late. Like, let's say like 26, 27.
Uh-huh.
Because this is 2014. This is conservatism pre-Donald Trump, which I feel like people have forgotten the form that took.
Yeah.
So I expect to see something like, oh right, there was that. They had to stop pretending about that, pretending whatever that is matters because their god became Donald Trump.
So you're going to see them espouse something they're extremely attached to and understand it's a cornerstone of their entire ideology.
Yeah, it'll be like marital faithfulness.
Right, and then it'll just be
like,
like,
all right, they used to care about that.
entire party goes, I'm not playing with you anymore. It just drops.
Oh, those were the good old days. It was a lot less openly KKK and a little more angry Karen.
Yeah, no, you can watch the trailer for this, and that's about the only vibe it has.
Yeah, watching the trailers for this does have a strong energy of like, but it's a joke that he's saying all this, right?
Yeah, we were watching it, Bob's like, and he's the villain, right? I'm extremely thrilled. It's worth noting this is apparently, as of right now, available on YouTube to watch. And also over on Amazon Prime with ads.
It's true. And you can watch it on those 400 bullshit ones that are like, we're free, but we show a bunch of ads.
But we shove so many ads into it, it might be illegal.
I feel like we got out all our expectations with that.
Wait. There's rampant speculation about what might appear. Do we think
That's true.
Do we think there's going to be a guy from high school that Kirk Cameron remembers and he just doesn't like God at all? And he's at the party or something?
I feel like there will be a guy who looks alarmingly like Aggro who will be the straw man atheist.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to find some schmuck.
Because, again, this was before 2016, so the blue hair, pronouns, feminist wasn't the archetype that they opposed yet.
Right.
It had to be more like Fedora atheistman.
Right.
God.
Yeah.
Which yet another reminder, that used to be a liberal stereotype, folks.
Mm-hmm.
This might top my commentary track lists that we've ever done if aggro walks on screen. Right?
Oh my god!
Just says erudite, God isn't real, faux pas.
Just cut right from the Starbucks cup to me, and I'll die.
What was the cause of death? Are we really discussing this? It was the part where he saw himself in the film. Like a horrible specter visited him in the night. This is some fucking nightmare shit.
I decided the only way to get through this film was to play a drinking game with a gun.
No drinks.
Take a bullet every time you see yourself in the film.
I saw the grimly specter of me from the past. Time to take a shot.
Oh God, yeah, that would be rough.
Holy shit. Do you think there'll be any guest appearances from his other co-stars, or all of them would never talk to him again?
I assume this is deep into that era.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Ben Stein shows up.
Oh my God.
That's too.
Oh
this
my
is too
God.
low end for him.
In 2014, though, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It could have that Hercules actor.
Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin
Kevin
Sorbo?
Sorbo.
Oh,
He could totally be in this.
This was I think this isn't that much longer after well, I think it's probably like a fucking decade after Meet the Spartans. So his career was already just in the garbage.
Yeah, the question is he making God is not dead right now? Right?
He could be.
In 2014? Because they have like 3 or 4 of those films now.
God.
Yeah. Oh man, if Kevin Sorbo shows
Yeah,
up,
this was the same year as
it's
that.
gonna be good.
Okay, I checked his IMDb. He is not in this movie.
Okay.
We can lower our expectations.
Right.
I did discover an entire series of films he is in that has like 15 parts and seems to be. We can't have fantasy TV shows anymore, so now they're movies.
Huh. Weird.
But let's let's go save Christmas
Yay!
by watching Saving Christmas.
Let's go save Christmas.
Yeah, but make sure you
Yeah,
spell
you gotta-
Christmas right.
You can save Christmas with us with the commentary track over on our Patreon.
And
Link in the description.
Patreon.com/GB podcast.
Bye.
And we're back. This movie is impossible to summarize, so I'm just going to describe the structure of it to you because it's insane. Kirk Cameron sitting by a fire in a chair, talking directly to you, the audience, and giving you his YouTube lecture about Christmas. It's meandering. He says nothing. You can tell this is pre internet outrage era because this whole movie doesn't even really have a villain. There is no ideological enemy in this whole thing. It's just some people don't want you to sing Christmas songs, a phenomenon I don't believe ever existed anywhere, at any time in any place in history. From there, it goes into the quote-unquote movie wherein Kirk Cameron sits in a car with his brother-in-law and tells him about the meaning of Christmas, which is 3 unbelievably cheap vignettes in which he states, Christmas is all about Jesus. God invented Christmas trees, so they're fine. They're not pagan symbols. God invented trees, and fruit naturally grows on trees, so Christmas trees are Christian, actually. And the third one, which is just Santa is a real cool guy because he beat up a guy who didn't think Jesus was divine. And then there's a 15-minute long hip-hop dance scene, and then that's the movie. Did I miss anything important?
A lot of bloopers in the credits and a lot of slow-mo shots to pad out the time.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
80
this
minutes
movie is-
somehow.
Barely.
Yeah, this movie is 80 minutes, and when you take out all the shit that you wouldn't qualify as part of the movie, I'm pretty sure it falls under the 72 minutes required to be a real movie.
Yeah, probably like 45 minutes at most.
If you took out all of the completely unnecessary pauses in the middle and between every line delivery, you'd probably cut it down to an even 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes where a character will say a thing, and you're like, okay, now we go into now we cut and go to the next scene, or cut to the other character responding, and it just holds.
And then Kirk Cameron does this thing where he says half a sentence, And then he finishes it. Like that made it more meaningful or impactful.
That pause that Dan just did is less than any pause that's actually in this movie.
Right, and there's a pause where he put it. There's a pause for then after what he said completely.
Yeah.
And then the guy who's responding to him also has a pause in the middle of his sentence.
Yeah.
It's an experience.
It's also worth noting the guy he's locked in the car with to save this man's soul from pointing out that the consumerist, what's the term? Decadence of Christmas is maybe very much against the idea of Christianity, of that religion, that it is decadent and disgusting, perhaps. That man's played by the director and co-writer of the film.
And he looks like Rocco Bodie.
He looks like a fusion of Rocco Bodie and Sean's dad, Sean from Mega 64's dad. That's the film. Just the two of them sitting in a car.
Yeah, and they just reach instant agreement after he hears the story that Kirk Cameron tells him. Like, there's no bickering among them.
Yeah, like this man was the world's soggiest straw man. Just instant capitulation.
Dan, let's see your review on on the patented cursed content scale of -5 to 5.
This isn't a fucking movie. -5. It doesn't look color corrected, despite the credits alleging many people were handling the colors of this film. I do not believe this. It is the energy of a dude who turned on a camera and just ranted and then sent it to someone who upset him. There's no film-like quality in any aspect of this. There's no villain. There's barely characters. Most of it seems ad-libbed. And then there's a dance number for no reason. It's not impressive. -5. This is genuinely of the worst things we've ever watched.
Bob.
Yeah, it's not really a movie. It's basically just an excuse to fill time for 80 minutes. And that's all you get in here. I'm also going to give it a -5. It doesn't have anything that even super upsets me or offends me. It's just insanely boring and had nothing to say, really.
Aggro.
I'm still pretty confused how far off this film was from what we expected it was going to be. I did not see the Christ on Christ fire coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
This fucking thing is just, it's so terrible. But you know, for the subject matter at hand, especially given our expectations, this could have gone in a much darker direction. This is incredibly pathetic, but honestly, it's so stupid. It's not hurting anyone. I'm going to give it a -4.
Very generous.
Yeah, I can't in good conscience give this a -5 because at no point is it offensive. It's just stupid and pitiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, James Cameron basically made a movie where he owns 4 atheists that are faces he drew on his fingers.
Kirk. I don't think James Cameron made this.
Why did Kirk Cameron, I'm sorry. Fucking autocomplete. Mental autocomplete. So it's stupid. It barely exists. Like, it does not have a narrative. It struggles to rise to the level of a video. So I guess I'll give it a -3. It was fascinating to discover how ethereal it was. Because if you don't know, dear listener, and I'm afraid I think I'll have to have Dan cut this fucking in somewhere, or it'll probably be in the thumbnail of the actual poster.
Yeah.
That certainly doesn't give the image of Kirk Cameron sitting in a car with a depressed man for an hour, and that's the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that absolutely should be like prosecutable as misadvertisement.
Mm-hmm.
They put this fucking film in theaters. This shit aired in some theaters.
Are you? Oh my God!
It's a limited release, but they got some theaters to play this.
Do you think anyone made it through a full screening?
No, probably not. I would be surprised if every single person who saw this movie didn't get their money back. Because once you'd get about to the second vignette, and I'm like, oh, this is all the movies, and I'd be like, give me my fucking money back.
Yeah.
right? Like, even if you're that built-in target Christian audience, this movie is probably still not your thing. This is a weirdly narrow version of one dogmatic interpretation of Christianity.
This is a movie for someone who wants to picture, who believes all the exact same things as James Cameron. I'm not James. Kirk
Jim.
Cameron. Why do I keep saying
The
James?
big Kirk experience. That's what we all just had.
Yes.
This is, it's like you have to believe all the same things as Kirk Cameron, and you desperately need to see somebody yield to your beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only audience.
And like the exact same things is Kirk Cameron. Not even a slightly different version. Ugh.
This trivia on IMDb is insane.
Okay.
According to Kirk Cameron, he blamed Reddit for hatching a plan to bomb their Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Yeah.
Eat
It's
shit.
not how Rotten Tomatoes works, my man.
It was a haters, pagans, and atheist conspiracy hatched on Reddit.
How do you not look at what you made and know what it is? How do you not know that you didn't make a movie?
Because he filmed all the shots and sent it to an editor and never looked back. He never even rewatched it.
But how do you not film those shots and go, I didn't make a movie. This isn't a movie.
We have worked with people
We
who
have.
do
We
not have
actually-
any understanding.
That we have firsthand watched them not process what they're doing. He also tried to get the creator of VeggieTales to submit an opening segment to the film. He declined.
Of course.
Yeah, no.
No shit.
And I really like this because the commentary track moment we had, the explanation of why the wise men gave frankincense and myrrh is not supported by historians nor religious scholars. The most common explanation is that they were valuable at that time and place. Thank you, IMDb Trivia.
I feel like we could have that exact same whole sentence about every one of the vignettes. This is not supported by anyone.
Everything in this is wrong.
Yeah, no, that's the final trivia blip. Oh, there's more. Okay, it was the final it shows you at first, but it's just like most of his explanations regarding the origins of various traditional Christmas being originally Christ-centered are historically incorrect.
Yup. Yeah, this.
Wow,
oh.
it's almost like missionaries went, you can keep your own traditions, just add a little Jesus to the mix. Also, we'll give you a tax break.
There are three people you should never take history lessons from: Wiccans, Christians, and anyone trying to get elected.
Oh, man.
Let's get to our segments.
Hell yeah.
Aggro, who's the best fucking character? I'm sure there's one somewhere in this fucking film.
Best.
Uncle
boy.
Bill, not the one in the Santa suit, the one sitting on the couch in the other room. I don't know if this was a continuity error or if this movie had two characters with the same name.
Yeah, that's unclear.
Yeah, I think that it's just two characters the same name, and they didn't even think about that being a problem.
But yeah, Uncle Bill chilling on the couch, minding his business. Kirk Cameron in the doorway, making a face for too long, reacting to nothing.
God, what they shot is a commercial for a Hallmark card. They didn't shoot anything else. They pretended they made a movie.
Dan, who's the best character?
I want to say the only black guy at the party, but I don't know that. But I think that's the case.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of those.
there were several black guys.
There's
but
only one character who's a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's another way you can tell this movie was made in 2014 instead of 2024.
Yup.
Because it's a conservative movie that is like, we're a compassionate conservatives. Look how diverse all our Republican friends are.
It turned out this was really more of a Christian thing than a Republican thing.
A very narrow purview of Christianity also.
So the thing here is like, I think the IMDb credit gives everyone but Kirk Cameron the name party goer. I think that's how they're all credited. No, there's four characters: Saint Nick, Kirk, Christian, which is the guy he talks to in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they gave him a seat's ironic. Anyways, and Kirk's sister, and then in parentheses as Bridget Ridenoir. So, anyways, this guy, the guy who seemingly works at the same business as other people at the party, who talks about the memo that they're going to take away Crazy Shirt Friday. is the only thing approaching a character outside of Kirk and this other guy, which Kirk doesn't become a character. We don't establish anything for him.
He's a deity.
I wish
Yeah,
we could walk
he's
away
correct.
with this. He's okay. So working backwards for the fact he's just correct.
My
And
brother-in-law, the correct deity.
I have to go with him. That's the best character. Why? I don't know. He's not the most upsetting person in the movie, so he must be the best working backwards from that.
I mean, if you think about it, when he's on screen, they are not in the car. So
yes.
Your brain is activating it all.
Yes. Also, it's completely transparent that he was just doing shit in front of the camera and talking about the fact he's doing shit in front of the camera, so they had to mute it. Maybe that's an experience I know from us literally having done that ourselves. But that was like frame one. You could tell. It was like, oh, he's just talking about the fact he's just gesticulating, and they're going to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm going with him. Party goer 17.
I think they named him in that film like 3 times, like DeAndre or something.
Yeah, that's right. They did name him.
Yeah.
Do the credits then not name him, and that's why IMDb doesn't have it?
I don't know. Nobody checked.
I don't know. This is the lowest rating movie ever on Letterboxd, so I bet a lot of people have checked the credits of the film to be like, we need to like a mark upon you. Say who you were in this film.
Bob.
Oh my God. We're running out of people quick.
It's okay, Bob. Go with the quirky rapping in the deleted scene white guy.
No, because he's like the weird. We don't know if the conspiracy theorist that we don't know if the movie's on his side or not.
Yeah, that was unclear.
Yeah,
they didn't go anywhere with it.
We didn't, so I guess that maybe that should make it fine. But instead, I'm just going to give it to. Okay, let's see. The Santa Claus in the flashback.
Fuck.
Because he beat a man to death.
Yeah, epic.
Fuck. That was also my logic.
Yeah, no, that is the best part of this movie.
And that was very Christian of him and
Well, it was.
good.
It was very holiday spirited as he beat the shit out of a man for talking shit about the Lord Jesus.
I guess I'll give it to Baby Jesus, because Baby Jesus didn't do nothing wrong.
True. He came into the world without original sin.
This isn't Baby Jesus' fault.
But we don't have baby Jesus, Chris. We have a prop of baby Jesus.
They said that was Baby Jesus, so it's good enough for me.
Okay.
They didn't have an actual fucking set either. They had a sheet that you can see the fucking creases in that they projected the green screen onto.
Guys, there's a movie that's coming out this year called Saving Christmas.
Oh my God.
There was also one that came out in 2017.
This is
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not one every year.
Yeah,
But this movie's title is not Saving Christmas, is Kirk
Cameron's Saving Christmas.
Saving Christmas.
I feel like we missed out. This movie looks way better.
Yeah, fucking any movie's way better. They're probably a movie.
Right? Instead of like a failed YouTube video.
I don't know. This looks like a funny, goofy YouTube video. Look at this frame. Those two are acting more than anyone in this movie did at any point.
Yeah, they might have to fight some ninjas or something. I don't know.
Unclear.
Hey, costume department, can you make our guys look like fucking cartoon characters? Thanks.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel like a terrible human because all I can do is look at this and go, I'm absolutely spending money to watch this Saving Christmas. Gators tank. Like Shark Tank.
Yes.
Oh, come on. Dan, who's the worst character? We're getting fucking in the weeds.
Now, okay, so this actually is a complicated question. Because there's something to hate about everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Kirk Cameron.
Damn it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know it's true, though. He is the worst character in this. He really represents that exact rambly bullshit fucking relative who tries to connect some dots at random and then goes, so I explained it. You go, no, you just didn't shut the fuck up for 5 minutes straight. You didn't explain shit. The fuck are you you just mentioned Jesus a bunch while you described what we do for Christmas. At no point does Kirk Cameron make a single good fucking point. Also, I'm mortified I called him James Cameron.
I don't think you did.
Okay. Chris, just so you know, I've been on edge this whole time trying to not call him James Cameron. I swear I did it once in the commentary track.
I'm sure.
Anyway, yeah, he's terrible. Even ignoring the part where this movie is his fault.
Right.
And the character's named Kirk, so it is him cosmically. I can blame that guy in the movie because it is just Kirk Cameron. His acting is terrible. He pauses all the time, drawing out all these fucking scenes. I had to stare at him nodding in that doorway for what felt like a year. He's absolutely horrible in this movie. I need to go back and see Growing Pains or whatever. I think that was the name of the sitcom he was on, to see if that's how his acting always was. Because that might play better when you're like a teenage kid.
Maybe
He did convert recording that show.
Oh,
That's troubling.
mm-hmm.
That makes me
Yeah,
wonder.
he told stories like, yeah, I fought with the writers all the time. I wouldn't say or do things that they wrote because I thought it was immoral.
Oh, cool. Great. I'm glad that this dude's being empowered. So, that Kirk, he sucks. He's terrible. There are many terrible people in this, and there are so many reasons to nominate them, but his fucking rambly bullshit that is supposed to wake up this man who seemingly, I still am firmly of the belief, something bad just happened to him recently. That's all that happened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like his dog died or something horrible occurred. His daughter killed herself. And this man's just having a crisis of like, why do we fucking celebrate like this? This isn't about Christianity. Like he's just stressed out. And Kirk Cameron's here to just ramble a bunch and say, well, Christmas trees are actually Jesus as well. So take that.
The tree's the cross, actually.
See, this movie could have been 5 seconds long.
When you put decoration on it, that's Adam.
And this hot chocolate, also Adam.
Oh no, that's Black Adam, starring The Rock, coming to theaters this Christmas.
Oh shit.
Aggro, who's the worst character?
I'm gonna have to give it up to Christian.
Darn it.
Who,
Yep.
outside of our desperate headcanon that he is the victim of either a crippling mental illness or a terrible tragedy, is the most hollow, spongy, like caricature of a weak-willed liberal you've ever seen. This is not a person. This is a collection of goo inside of a sweater. He sits there and listens to Kirk Cameron say some absolute horse shit for 5 minutes and then goes, "You're right. I've never thought about it like a crazy person before."
Yeah, he's terrible.
He is really awful.
I hate him so
he
much.
was my second choice.
He's the worst.
Terrible.
Okay, I'll go with guy from the conspiracy theory scene who the camera makes look like he is wearing a bald cap, but he does not actually have a bald cap on. Both of those characters are terrible. I hate them. Bob.
Okay, I need to just run something by you guys.
Uh-huh.
Is Kirk Cameron in the actual feature a different character from Kirk Cameron in the intro featurette where he talks directly to the camera like it's a YouTube video?
They're both just Kirk Cameron. He's not playing
Yeah,
the character.
I don't think we're allowed to delineate those.
Okay,
sorry.
darn it. I wanted to be like, I want Kirk Cameron type 1.
Because here's the thing, like we were saying, he is just himself in the film, and that is all just Kirk Cameron on the set saying things virtually.
It is.
If that wasn't the case, the intro being the character in a fictional film would be like, oh, so he's crazy. He sat in a completely empty living room, had a diatribe to nothing, and held up a coffee, a mug, allegedly full of hot chocolate, but obviously empty. And he's like, I love hot chocolate so much. Obviously, that would make that some other alter ego at minimum of the character in the rest of the film.
Well, we are literally out of characters.
Shucks.
So, I just have to nominate the black guy. I think that his
you could nominate Christian's wife.
Yeah, it is really flimsy to nominate her. She barely does anything.
I know, like I have nothing to go on there. She is just in the movie technically.
Yeah, that makes her a character.
Yeah.
She had
theoretically
she had wrinkles, which scared the colorist who had to use After Effects to blur her fucking face but keep her eyes sharp.
But yeah, I really didn't like the black guy's rant about the email.
The Crazy Sure Fridays?
Yeah, the Crazy Sure Friday email. That was really bad. It wasn't as bad as the rest of the movie, but it was bad.
Yeah. I nominated him for best character. I'm ready to sign off on him being the fourth worst character.
Right? Because who am I going to start nominating? The dancers? Oh, yeah, that one, like, she didn't nail it.
Right? That kid during the dance scene that clearly kept looking at the camera. So eventually, and I didn't bring this up in the commentary track, they removed her from that crowd. She's missing in one of the last shots of that crowd. Like, who are you going to nominate? That's insane.
Yeah, there's also the kid next to her that just looks upset the whole time. Mm-hmm. And that ruins the mood of Christmas. So he's the worst character.
Oh, okay. Small child type, body type A. On the right side of the shot with the dance scene that sucks. This is not a deranged podcast network. This is a normal podcast network.
It's not going to get any easier in the next category, best scene.
No, it's not.
Did you say best?
I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll start the scene where Santa Claus beat up a guy. That's
correct.
Nothing else in this movie. Bob, what else is in this movie? Nothing. There's nothing else, but go ahead.
I'm going to give it to the nativity scene and Kirk Cameron's psychotic explanation of it.
Now remove the man.
Yes.
Now remove the woman. Now remove the baby.
Like Kirk Cameron standing there with Minority Report gloves. Remove Mary. Spin the baby.
I
Zoom in.
Like the Christmas tree one, I got what he was trying to say, which was insane. I have no idea what he was trying to say in the nativity one. At all.
He was saying that was a bitchin' cave it happened in.
I guess.
Look, since cloth is a large part of the human experience, this was the fulfillment of prophecy and demonstrates how God's design fits so neatly together.
Like a nude man at the tree store holding his penis.
I don't know how cloth is made. It must be made by God. Look how perfectly it's used for this baby.
Yes, and the modern banana was made by God. God. Fucking idiot.
The universe is tuned so perfectly for human life. I've never lived anywhere but an upper middle class white neighborhood.
Look at my 12 refrigerators.
Yeah, that house is a house that Columbo Villain lives in.
Yes.
I just love that.
Yeah, the house in this has double built-in fridges and also one of those big expensive wine coolers. Like this is a $3 million house. Easy. Dan, what's the best scene?
I'm of two minds here. I'm choosing between two things. Sadly, the post-credits thing is an outtake, so that's not a real scene of the movie.
Dan, that's a real scene. They put it in the movie.
Okay, I'm counting
Just
it.
fucking, yeah,
I'm
just
counting
fucking.
it. The crazy conspiracy guy just starts rapping, and the black dude drops a beat for him to rap over. And I was instantly sold on this guy just does this at their church meetings. Mm-hmm. This is his thing. He's white rapper guy.
Yeah.
That's
a talent. That's more than anything else in the movie.
This guy is like the youth group's like comedy dude. He's the funny one. I love this. I'm imagining so much outward from this one point. And if no one picks my other choice, I would like to go at the end again.
Acro.
The very opening scene of this film, in which Kirk Cameron sits in a tacky as hell Christmas set and speaks directly to camera, was I look back on now as a beautiful, safe moment where I thought this movie was going to be about the Republican imagined terror of the war on Christmas. and not some timeline hurtling throwback to the nightmare of being raised in modern American Christian Protestant theology. I felt safer back there. I felt like I knew that the world made sense and where we were headed. And then that rapidly deteriorated as the movie took its terrible shape.
Yeah, that was what I was torn between.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then before Kirk Cameron got in the car and crashed it.
Again, with the fucking, like, the poster for this movie, I thought there would be a villain. It's just so nothing. Like, it isn't even Republican. It's just, like, milquetoast, nothing concern, like, Christianity, Protestantism.
In an episode of Beyond Flux,
Okay.
the bad guy and, like, politician of it gets caught in a scandal. And he's being interviewed about this scandal, and he goes, "I have nothing to hide," and strips nude live. That was the opening shot of this movie for Kirk Cameron and what this movie was. Instantly, I knew what the rest of the film was. I'm like, oh, you're not a movie. You're not a movie at all. Holy shit. That wasn't a foreword. That's not what that is. A foreword isn't you turning the camera on and rambling angrily. Christ. It's like it fucking what is it? The dial or F is for fake. Open with fucking Marlon Brando. Wait, not Marlon Brando. The other one.
Orson Welles.
Welles just ranting about a restaurant that fucked up his order once.
Yeah, he only did that in that book. Actually, he didn't even write the book. Someone else it's collections of his conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what a foreword is. F is for fake has an actual foreword in a sense. Holy shit. What fucking
Worst scene, Bob. Go.
Oh, okay, good. I get full picking for this. Obviously, the worst scene is them sitting in the car. I know that's most of the movie.
Yeah, which time? That's 4 distinct scenes.
It's really only one, but I'm gonna give it to the first one because that's when we kind of knew.
When you realized.
Right. Like Dan called it out immediately of like, this is the movie.
Yeah, no, it did. It really reminded me of us watching Temple of Doom, and I'm like, oh my god, we're already there. There's an hour left of this film. Oh my god. Oh, we're already at this car. Oh no.
Yeah, it took like what was it, 15 minutes, if even, including the foreword.
It was so little of the movie had actually happened by the time it's like, oh, he's in the car. We're done. It's over.
Oh fuck, I have to go. The Christmas tree vignette, because it was really just fucking meandering and stupid. Just like, God created trees and he put fruit on the trees, and please God, this isn't a pagan thing that got absorbed by Christianity. God, like, we're the source of everything. We didn't take anything from anybody. Also, we've always been white. Damn it.
Weird statement at the very end.
For some reason, I'm reminded of the tree cult from Deadly Premonition.
Oh my god.
Aggro.
Give me a minute. I was going to do that Christmas tree thing.
I would like to note,
so bad.
I was going to nominate the Christmas tree thing as my third best scene.
Yeah.
Because it seamlessly cuts between a child shopping for a Christmas tree and a nude Adam
Yes.
in front of a tree. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is him retroactively rationalizing a nudist being at that tree shopping.
Yes.
Completely confused imagery overlaid with this fucking moron word salading his way through concepts, just free associating nonsense. I seriously had flashbacks to sitting in Sunday school.
Yeah.
Like I felt like scot-free waking up on Apocalypse. Like, oh God, no, I was out. I swear I was out.
It's the only one of those cutaways where I'm like, this is all just made out of paid for footage. Like, this is...
Yeah. He just paid for stock footage on a website in order to lengthen this out because this movie was too short.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to go with the indoor slip and slide to the base of the Christmas tree scene. because it represents the core emotional failure of the kind of people who would make this film. The scene immediately preceding it led up to him telling him, you need to go apologize to your wife for being a huge downer now that I've fixed you with all of my facts and logic. And instead of doing that, instead of this being like about a human moment and him healing his personal community, it's about him performatively lowering his body to the ground before the symbol that has now been cleansed through Kirk Cameron's word magic and looking up at it in adoring worship, completely surrendering himself to how right Kirk Cameron was to like the things he already likes in the face of any sense or reason, words I use loosely when describing actual biblical doctrine.
I liked the added angle of it's like, see, even the way kids act on Christmas morning is part of God's plan. They're prostrating themselves before the tree, which is the cross, as we went over.
Like, I needed Alan Wake to bust into this scene with a gun.
God, oh man. I'm just imagining like the Alan Wake keeps stumbling into these weird cult-like Christmas settings.
That would be so good.
Just looking confused and scared.
You know what? Yeah, out of every developer left in the industry, Remedy is the peak developer to make a Christmas DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one of the Max Paynes, or maybe two of them, are Christmas games.
Yeah, I think 1 and 2
that's
might be.
awesome.
At very least, I think 2 is.
Right?
I don't know. We need to play those.
We do.
We have a way to stream PC games now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. What a movie.
Dan, finish us off.
No, wait, I didn't go? Uh-oh. 1 sec. Well, as I said before, I really enjoy the vignette about the tree because that's based. It's based to be like, and Adam was there and he was nude and I was 10.
And it made me feel things that were...
And he had a banana, which proved God was real. Shit.
I'm so glad you guys know the Kirk Cameron banana thing, because if I was just bringing it up, I would sound like a crazy person.
We could all sound like a crazy person. Pop, did you choose you chose the cave scene for...
No, I chose the first car scene.
But, okay. So you didn't choose the cave scene for worst?
No.
Or best?
No, I chose that for best.
That's what I thought. Okay, that's what I was going to say to begin with. Like, you chose it for best.
Okay.
I'm actually taking this with an incredible amount of seriousness because this movie is absolutely rotten. It's like if you were to ask, what was your least favorite moment of sitting in the waiting room for an hour and a half? Well, fucking the part where I was bored describes all of it, but excluding the vignette, I will say the third time they have the dialogue in the car, because that is when I have absolute certainty the rest of the film is this. There is nothing else. Them going back and forth with, yet again, Kirk Cameron doesn't have a solid argument for anything, and other guy just capitulates immediately. He just goes, "You're so right, Kirk Cameron."
Right. You're
the movie
so right.
is just this man going, "You're so right, Kirk Cameron."
That makes sense. I didn't think about it like that.
I didn't think about it like that. Once again, it has the energy of the first episode of Mega 64's sitcom series, where it's just like, you ever think how hungry you must be being Banjo for Banjo-Kazooie? Did you feel hungry for like pasta as Mario? It's that. So, like, just imagine another person in the room going, "You're so right, Rocco Bodie." And that's this movie. Yeah, that... I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm going away now.
Does anybody have anything else to say about this fucking non-film?
Because of the way we do this, I feel like we talk about literally every part of the movie because there's nothing here.
Yeah,
It's true.
It's true. I think we literally covered every aspect, listener.
I feel like we should reiterate it if you didn't watch the movie. Chris wasn't exaggerating or kidding. There's like a 15, 20-minute hip-hop dance scene at the end of this film.
Yeah, they had to get it over the line so they could show it in a theater.
They brought in the God Squad.
Yes, the God Squad really helped out on this one. And I wasn't kidding either. That kid kept looking at the camera and eventually disappeared from those shots.
God, that scene's so poorly put together that it's cutting between two shots. One of the dancers, one of the black guy leading like a group of people singing.
Dancing while looking at the camera.
Yeah, and those two shots cannot happen in
They
the same
can't
room.
coexist. No,
Yeah.
those are two different realities.
Because the black guy's also in the dance scene.
Yes.
It's crazy.
It is fucking nuts how much Deandra is in two different places at the same time. The crowds are different. The crowds are doing different things.
And if Kirk Cameron didn't show up for like one or two shots in that dance sequence, he just wouldn't be in the back half of this movie.
Yeah, he stopped at the door.
Yeah.
And then we just got a bunch of slow-mo shots of him smiling and nodding. And we cut to that at random for the entire rest of the movie to fill time. Remember? He's like, Christian's talking to his wife or whatever. And it's just like, I'm sorry. Anyways, we have to censor your face. You're too old and a woman. And then it shows her blurred out face, and then it cuts to fucking Kirk randomly.
Yeah, he's nodding like always.
Yeah, I wish I could nominate for worst scene any of the scenes that were just done in slow motion, but that's all way better than the car.
It is.
Yeah. Only other closing comment here. We probably watched the worst Saving Christmas. I'm willing to make that
probably.
bet.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't this mean we could just make our own movie called Saving Christmas?
Absolutely.
Because we'd be
Free
like,
country.
at minimum, the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
We could put a comma in there. Really, just make it our own.
How does that? One moment. How does that work as a
Saving, Christmas?
Yeah. How does that? What does that sentence mean, Bob?
It doesn't need to mean anything.
What
Kirk Cameron taught me this.
Let's bust out the semicolon then.
Yeah, there we go.
Saving Christmas. Well, that makes sense. You know, Christmas is expensive.
Yeah, you see, like the comma goes in the gap between those two words, much like Christ stood in the gap between us and eternal damnation to save us from our sins.
You're so right, Dr. Agro.
You know, commas were invented in the 1960s at the Second Vatican Council.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I want. I want the version of this movie that's just Agro saying shit like that for an hour, and like someone who looks exactly like that fucking meme where it's the small girl going, "Wow, bass," and people are just like, why is this movie about this dude approaching 40 just rambling at this teenage girl who seems trapped as he's espousing non-realities and ideologies that aren't self-consistent?
I'm just imagining the version of this movie where he gives the first speech, like he just gets through one of them. The guy goes, "You're right, Kirk," and then pulls a gun out of the glove compartment and puts it in his mouth, and we smash cut to credits.
And then enough bloopers to pad that out so that way no one could see that twist coming 30 minutes into the film. We have 50 minutes of bloopers. It's like one of those modern trailers for movies. Like, they mostly stop this, but you remember that bit where they're like, "Hey, I'm this actor from the thing you're about to watch. Please enjoy the new trailer." It's that in reverse. You watch the movie, and then the actor's like, "Hey, I was just in that thing. We're going to show you a bunch of behind the scenes and production things."
Oh my God, that becoming the move, that would be disgusting, but also kind of incredible.
That would be great. I think that's it. I think we're all good, right? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
Merry Xmas, everyone.
Please. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Bob, did you know podcasts were invented by God?
Not this one.
The executive producers for this GigaBoots video are Esme, Ely Broyles, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, A Reminder for Symphony of War, Cooper Tank, Very Best Plot, Iconic Bane, and Rado. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And also these guys. If you want to become an executive producer or normal patron, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.